let's just go to, since we're dealing with lunatics with that have a lot of difficulty grasping logic, reality. No other person, I mean, no one exemplifies that better than the back of Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck spends all this money on the studio, and then this is his go-to shot on his show all the time. He's got these two giant screens on either side of him, each of which costs about $1,500. He's got a major one in front of him that's like the $3,000 model. Oh, believe me, I've checked prices. Don't forget to like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, and we're so close to 25,000 subscribers. So pass the show around, infotainmentwars.com. Don't forget to subscribe. Please hit the subscribe. You don't have to hit the notification bell even. You'll drive yourself crazy. You know when I'm on. Just come by when you can. The notification bell is for people who post more than they go live. Yeah. So this is this whole big studio. He's got all this, and he's got this wide-angle lens. Look how it bulbs out the side of the glass here. This is not a round room. He's using a wide-angle lens. It's giving him a fisheye effect. Thank you, Sarah, for hosting me. And Guy November, thank you for resubscribing for 13 months. That's awesome. Anonymous, thank you for gifting that subscription. And Diana Turner, thank you for the super chat. Lost another employee to COVID, unvaccinated. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Diana. So this was 3 examples that prove the far left. Okay, so I guess I mean, what do they consider far left? Anyone who thinks that slavery was ill-advised. Is that far left to Glenn? Is that what they... We'll see. All right. Far left. You know, fringy, far left.
He is on a trip to the United Kingdom.
Hold on. Who is? Back up.
Nancy Pelosi is
the Speaker of the House. Madam Speaker, to you.
Trip to the United Kingdom. Please, keep her. She's yours.
That is so funny. That's so... I mean, I haven't heard a good "take my wife, please" joke in a long time.
I know you like really, 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 really old ladies to be in charge of things in your country. I mean, sure, yours isn't bat crap crazy, but can you take this one too?
Just so... I mean, it's so sharp. It's just... it's so cutting. I don't know how. Anyway, I don't know how. Has anyone checked on Nancy Pelosi? Has she recovered? This kind of roasted, I've never seen.
Anyway, Nancy Pelosi.
Anyway, that's how you want to end a good comedy take. Anyway,
on a trip to the United Kingdom, she was in.
Wait a minute. So she's going to the United Kingdom? Okay, I just want to clarify.
And this is what she said.
Look at this, day 18, left behind in Afghanistan. What? Day 18. Is this a countdown graphic he has on his show every day? For real? Glenn, if you're in Afghanistan and the Taliban isn't bringing you enough ice cream, blink twice. Left behind in Afghanistan. You're not there, motherfucker. If you're going to make a graphic like that, put a banner across the bottom, make it long ways, and say, Americans left behind. That's what you're saying. Day 18, left behind in Afghanistan. Or is this day 18 of your nonstop reading of the Left Behind novels in Pashto? So stupid.
China.
We've always felt connected to China.
Sorry. I want to hear the whole sentence there.
We've always.
And this is what she said about China.
We've always felt connected to China. But with their military aggression in the South China Sea,
with
their continuation of genocide with the Uyghurs in Xinjiang province.
Stop. Is that news to you, Stu? Have you ever heard the United States of America, a big elected official, a Speaker of the House or above, say that China is continuing the genocide on the Uyghurs? Have you heard that?
I mean, the fact that they're doing it is not news to me.
It's not news.
But as pretty close to an official statement of U.S. policy.
Correct.
It's notable.
Or at least what we know.
We've been critical of them, but we don't. I mean, you don't.
You mean like when Kevin McCarthy was in charge?
We're still talking about like the 1917 genocide and whether we should call it genocide.
Correct. In Turkey.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this:
the Armenian Genocide. Are we still talking about that? Are we? I thought Trump. Didn't Trump recognize the Armenian Genocide? It had to be him, right? He would have, if anybody. If any president was to recognize the Armenian Genocide, it would have to be Donald Trump, wouldn't it? It would have. Oh shit! Hi, what does that say? Sorry. What Biden's recognition of Armenian Genocide means to Armenian Americans? Well, obviously not much, because someone else must have done it. We affirm the history. We do this not to cast blame, but to ensure that what happened is never repeated. Marked the first time a U.S. president formally equated the violence against the Armenians with atrocities on the scale of those committed by those committed in Nazi-occupied Europe. So Nancy Pelosi is recognizing the genocide against the Uyghurs. Biden is recognizing that the Armenian genocide was indeed an Armenian genocide, where I think he was ahead of Cenk Uygur on that arc, curiously enough. Funny that. But sorry, you were saying?
Why does the United States get such a bad rap with so many historians on the genocide of the Jews in Germany?
Because we waited too long to enter World War II, and the idea was that we waited until the last minute.
Didn't act fast enough.
We didn't act fast enough. But what is the excuse on the other side? One, by the way, I don't believe. But what is the excuse on the other side?
We didn't know.
We didn't know. We didn't know
it was
for
that
sure.
bad. We knew Germany was bad, but we didn't know what the extent of what they were doing.
And the better excuse, it's still a bad excuse, but the better excuse is that FDR, when he found out, he said, the way to make it stop is to stop Germany. Don't defer any of our resources away from defeating Hitler and killing and cutting the head off the Nazi regime. That will end the genocide for the Jews.
I love Glenn's history lessons. I feel like it's not that I learned anything new. It's that I learned the dumb version of stuff again.
Okay. That's the best excuse I've heard, but it's still an excuse. We knew. And
so you're part of the you want to teach American children to hate their country. I see. Good. So you're pro critical race theory now, and we need to teach everyone that America is bad, and that all right.
Did nothing.
By the way, if this was a clip from a liberal talker, Glenn Beck would be losing his mind right now
about it. What a surprise. Another Democratic icon. So he did nothing about it. It's a horror show. The world then said genocide must never happen again. It is in a separate category.
Teach us. Tell us, Glenn. Tell us the meaning of genocide, Glenn. In your PJs? I guess you're just wearing PJs. Is it Cowboy Friday? Dude is wearing PJs. I don't care. He's wearing fucking PJs.
You can have gulags. You can have...
Yeah, that's what we say most of the time. You guys can have gulags. Knock yourself out.
Torture
train.
But genocide, state-sponsored genocide, is...
Yeah, that's too much.
In a separate category.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to get through round 1 and round 2 before you go for easy money in the genocide category. I'll take what is genocide for 600?
Worst thing a country can do, right? I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything on that level, but
nuking an entire other country for obvious racist reasons. Yeah, like killing some of your own citizens because you don't like them anymore, or people who you view as invaders inside your own country. That's been done many times over history. I would go with just preemptively striking a country and killing everyone. I mean, in the modern era. Obviously, Genghis Khan did some shit that we might find concerning.
Be the ultimate crime you would accuse a country of.
It would be like saying,
Oh, it's good. Here comes an analogy. I live for Glenn and Bongino's analogies. These are sweet. It's like what?
He didn't take out the garbage this morning. He doesn't clean his room. He's late with his math paper. He commits genocide. And he also is, late for a meeting that he had, at church. Wait, one of those things is a lot bigger. So this...
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I'm glad I finally came to an agreement with Glenn Beck that on a scale of genocide to not taking out the garbage, Jesus Christ, that's the analogy. That's it. This is the cutting edge, top-notch political dissection that people come to the Glenn Beck show. They want to hear Glenn Beck's take on things. And his take is that genocide is so bad, it's like it's worse than not taking out the garbage and being late with your homework or a meeting at church.
What she did with the military aggression in the South China Sea.
The South China Sea, yep.
The continuation of genocide with the Uyghurs in the Xinjiang province.
Yes, just Xinjiang. Yeah, the Xinjiang
with
province.
a violation.
He's saying Xinjiang, I think. We hope.
The cultural and religious priorities of Tibet. They don't pick up their socks, okay?
I mean, those are bad things.
Those are all bad things, but it's...
Genocide is genocide.
Genocide
yes.
isn't a... Okay, so now we have Nancy Pelosi admitting the United States of America knows that they're not only committing it, they're continuing to commit it, which means we've known for a while. Mm-hmm. And what does she say? She goes on to say, yes, they're committing genocide against the Uyghurs. But having said that, I'm quoting, the overriding issue is working together on climate change.
God. Would we have worked with Hitler on climate change?
Hitler didn't have nukes. That's the root of it. Also, you need to, if you're ever going to solve that kind of a problem without a straight invasion, you're going to need to operate domestically and diplomatically with them. And then you are also going to have to build up alliances like the AUKUS or the Quad and start strategically building up in that area. If you've ever played Risk, you may know this. That you can't just fly in and get everybody and start a hot war with China without killing everybody you're trying to save and them wiping them out just to prove they were never there in the first place and yada, yada, yada. So you've got to strategically start doing something about it. There you go.
Would we have worked with Hitler on developing the bomb? Would we have worked with Hitler on
Well, for years, everybody was working with him as this started to ramp up.
The Autobahn? Would we have worked with Hitler on his socialized medicine? Would we have worked with Hitler on any of his National Socialist ideas?
Well, Chamberlain would have, and Trump obviously did, even when COVID was happening.
The answer is no. No. When you're committing genocide, no.
I'm glad Glenn has finally found something he's got a hard line on.
Okay. She said, we have to work together on climate because climate is the overriding issue. The overriding issue.
Yeah, it's the air and water we all live off of. What are you saving out everybody for a burned out cinder? That's kind of the point.
There is no way to describe this mindset that, yes, they are killing an entire group of people because of their ethnicity or religion. They are systematically rounding them up, using them for slave labor, and killing them, using their organs and selling them on the open market.
That's the Falun Gong people you're thinking of.
They are nothing more than cattle. For us to recognize it and do nothing about it is one thing.
Well, we're not doing nothing about it. We're using international pressure and we're building up military alliances because we can't attack them head on because it's a giant fucking country. We have to. This is not World War II. A war is already broken out. We joined in the middle of actually hot fighting. This is the starting of the hot fight if we're not careful, and there's nukes involved. That's why this strategy. This is why, like, thinking is required. I know it's a new concept.
To say we recognize it, but we have bigger things to talk to them about is a horror show. Now, there's point one. Remember.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just checking something. Hold on one second. Here's that. Oh, it's 2012. Okay, never mind. Just checking something.
What I want to talk to you about is we will become the worst plague on human life ever. If we let our country go to the dark side. Will make the Nazis look like rookies. First step. Oh, we know they're systematically killing a group of people, but we have bigger priorities. Climate change.
What do you mean? That's literally national security and the survival of citizenry was the reason why all but 6 countries stayed out of World War II.
Okay, next one.
Ugh. I thought someone was whistling behind me. It was Hal. I'm in surround sound. It's my new thing.
We are not going to leave anyone behind. We won't leave anyone behind. We'll make sure every American gets out. There's maybe...
That wants to get out. Glenn, that wants to get out.
46 Americans left now.
How many? 346? Is that the number? Wait 1 second. I want to make sure this is, and as of today, right? So hold on.
Sure, every American gets out. There's maybe 46 Americans left now. Bullcrap. I have hundreds of Americans, hundreds that are still waiting to get out, and I cannot get the State Department to even admit it. And
well, if they, what do you want them to do? Announce where they are?
They give us permission to fly our airplanes. They are too late because the paperwork that they gave us that they insist we must have, somehow or another they only deliver it to us an hour after it's expired. It is evil. What is happening? It is evil. They are dehumanizing American citizens.
Or they think you're a loose turd in the punch bowl and you'll actually fuck shit up that's actually in the works already. There's not 46. Let me go in there. I know some guys with guns and some paramilitary dudes. It's going to be awesome. Hold on. Glenn Beck flying people out of Afghanistan. Let's see if he's got. There you go. Not so much a problem of the State Department and paperwork. Glenn Beck group funded planes to be used for evacuations being grounded by Taliban. 6 planes funded by a Glenn Beck founded charity were identified as some of the evacuation aircrafts being grounded by the Taliban in Afghanistan. A report said the flights chartered by Mercury One cost the organization $750,000 each and are currently sitting empty at an airport in the city of Mazar-e-Sharif. An official with the non-governmental organization working on the evacuation told Newsweek. More than 1,600 people, including over 100 Americans, are expected to evacuate the country on planes. These are Christians only, by the way, which were chartered from Afghanistan's largest private airline, Com Air. So these are chartered planes that they haven't. So they cost $750, but they're not going to pay until they actually go. But they've been grounded. Cam Air, these are Afghan planes. They paid for these planes. They already gave the cash, and then the Taliban isn't letting the planes fly. Do you see a strategy issue here with Glenn in the crowd? The NGO official told Newsweek that nobody is aboard the idle planes. All right, well, that's good. I'm glad they're sitting in 122-degree heat. The planes are currently empty, and its passengers are still waiting in their safe houses for clearance for takeoff from the Taliban. The Taliban are holding up 6 planes. Okay, there we go. I have 1,600 plus people in the master manifest that want to fly, of which 123 are Americans and the rest are special immigration visas. Another NGO official told the outlet that the planes have not taken off because the Taliban has failed to grant final clearance and negotiations with the State Department have been stuck at this point. Because you don't want them to start taking off and then some rogue Taliban fucker blowing it out of the sky. This is not a good angle. Glenn, not a good angle. But thanks for shaving on that day, I suppose. Earlier Sunday, Tex Rep, this is McCall, 6 airplanes carrying Americans and Afghan refugees were being held hostage by the Taliban at the airport. They're not clearing airplanes to depart. They sat at the airport for the last couple of days. These planes were not allowed to leave. We know the reason why is because the Taliban wants something in exchange. This is really turning into a hostage situation where we're not going to allow American citizens to leave until they get full recognition from the United States of America. That didn't end up being the case either. That's earlier Sunday. So this is September 6th is when this happened. Glenn, I know you're angry. I know it's late. I know you're angry. I know you're wearing your cowboy PJs. Seriously. He looks like he's doing a dinner theater version of Christmas Story.
They don't count. Why? Because of politics.
Dude, you are only evacuating Christians. How do you vet people to be sufficiently Christian to get on the plane in the first place?
Next story.
Yeah.
Biden has just said the administration needs to cut back on the shipments of a highly effective therapy for COVID-19. It is called monoclonal antibodies.
Oh, monoclonal. I see. These are, for those of you who don't know, and you might confuse these with monoclonal antibodies. These are monoclonal antibodies, and they colonize COVID inside you. They're little white settlers, and they, sorry.
It is a bogus antibody. It is a made antibody. Instead of
synthetic is the word. Bogus doesn't help, dum-dum. If you're trying to convince people who don't want to take the vaccine that this is a better treatment, the fuck do you mean bogus? Bogus?
To a part of the disease, this is giving you a fake antibody that kills.
It's a fake antibody. It's not a fake antibody. It's a cloned antibody. It actually exists. What the shit?
The disease. So instead of having a vaccine, this seems like it could be a lot better.
No, it's not. It's temporary. Your body doesn't take them on. It can also cause other problems, shit stain. Jesus.
Nevertheless, it works.
It keeps people who are on the edge of going into the hospital possibly from going into the hospital. But please continue.
Works.
You know what also works? Getting vaccinated.
Putting back the therapy and not sending them to red states.
Bullshit.
They're saying because the red states are just using too much. Using too much? Can you tell me the states where they can't get it? Let's make sure the doses are not, in their own words, part of an effort to make sure there is medical equity.
Yeah, you would want everybody to have access to it, not the anti-vaxxer crowds who are blowing off the vaccine. You should have it left over for people who have like immunocompromised situations where they can't get the vaccine, so they might need these things, and they're being denied them because of fuckos that are like friends of yours. We're like, vaccines. I don't want the government putting some sort of needle vaccine experimental thing. I would rather them put an experimental monoclonal antibody treatment in me.
I'm sorry, we can't help those poor hurricane victims because we've helped so many hurricane victims in America lately. We got to go find those hurricane victims that might need our help in the future in England.
The analogies are getting better by the moment. Yes. Yeah, that's why sometimes we run low on resources in the United States fighting hurricanes, is because we're always fighting them in England. Jesus Christ. Dude, do you think, I mean, just back up and then picture, sort of make a visual image in your head of what you think you might want to mean in the future. And then shape the words to fit it. That you heard that right, by the way.
Victims, because we've helped so many hurricane victims in America lately. We got to go find those hurricane victims that might need our help in the future in England.
By the way, the only thing remotely close to this lunacy you've ever heard is Rand Paul and his ilk saying, don't give money to Sandy Hook. We can't just bail out every coastal city that's ravaged by a hurricane. It's Republicans that always tell people who need emergency funds to fuck off.
What?
Yes, no, you're reacting, but what? What? Nobody knows what you're talking about either. We all reacted that way, Glenn.
Put the medicine where the medicine is needed.
Yeah. It's needed everywhere. There's not enough of it to go around. There's enough vaccine to go around, but there's not enough monoclonal antibody treatments to go around. So what you want is people to blow off getting the vaccine, a medical treatment we have plenty of, because they want to live in this fucking YouTube conspiracy theory fantasy hole of New World Order government. They're going to track me and it's going to make my nuts swell up. And those people should be protected with monoclonal antibodies, and the people who are in other states who are doing everything they can but have other medical reasons why they can't take the vaccine, they don't deserve the monoclonal antibodies. They're being shortchanged because of people who have an option and don't take it. The people without an option aren't getting the medicine they need. And you're cool with that.
And by the way, this is something I guess we could argue about if all of a sudden Seattle needs all of this
monoclonal
antibody work.
Hey, at least you said it once, right? That's okay. That's a win.
If all of a sudden Seattle needs it, I guess we can say, okay, so where does it go? But for a government that doesn't care what bridge they cross, what constitutional rule that we have that they throw out of the window and say, we'll make these companies make more of it. Instead of that, oh, no, we can't make more of it. We just have to make sure that Texas and Florida don't get it. This is...
That's why. That's what they're trying to do. It might also be that there are actual physical limits in the universe. Fucking hell.
the people who are on television every night saying that doctors should refuse medical treatment for anybody who doesn't get the vaccine?
Well, because they're having to swap out beds because people who refuse the vaccine are ending up taking up ventilators that would be for people that are in car accidents. But you're saying that people who refuse the vaccine, who have no reason to, who are just doing it for political reasons, deserve extra special treatment, but a person who is doing everything right and being a good citizen, being decent, trying not to be late for a meeting at church, gets hit by a car, they got to wait in the fucking parking lot with a tube up their nose hoping they don't die because there's not enough beds because your fans don't want to get the Fauci ouchie.
I want to give you a poll.
Oh, God. Dear God. I can't. I got to get out of here. Anytime Glenn says that, just run for the hills. I'm just saying, that's...
You using the whole fist, Doc?
No, I'm not. I have no interest in a poll. Thank you.
On what is the biggest threat to a nation, to our nation.
Uh-huh.
Here's what people who vote for the GOP said was the biggest threat to our nation in order.
Okay.
The Taliban.
Wait a minute. What? People who voted for the GOP think the biggest threat to our nation is the Taliban. What? Okay. Somebody's fucking with you. There's the Taliban, not Russia, not China, not, COVID as a bioweapon, whatever, that shit. Fucking the Taliban. The Taliban. What do you think they're going to do? Fly busted helicopters over here? The Taliban. Even the belief system that the Taliban is a threat is only because they allowed Al-Qaeda to have camps. It was Al-Qaeda that you're actually afraid of. But they can't say Al-Qaeda because they don't remember because it's been 20 fucking years. The Taliban. What? Yeah, it's not a worldwide pandemic. The Taliban. The Taliban.
Defund the police activists.
Defund the police activists. Not the actual plan, because nobody's for that. Even Cory Booker was like, screw this shit. It's not happening. Nobody actually is carrying that nonsense out. But the activists are a problem. I'm very scared. They're going to line up with the Taliban and bomb my target.
China.
Okay, well, I'm glad it made the list. Third. China's third. All right.
And then everything else is in half. Top three.
Is everything else is in half? The rest of it was like, no, I think it's Taliban. And then defund the police activists. Those people scare me. Okay, they're very loud. And they all have banners. Where do they get the banners? Okay, nobody makes a banner that good. I've made my own banners. Okay. Anyways, I still say strength is spelt HT, but whatever. And then China. And then from this point on, I'm like, half Black Lives Matter, half like Durham not doing his job. And then like number 6 for me, I don't know, God, it would be like half having to take a vaccine, half not being able to bring a gun to a preschool. You know what I mean? Like those, I'm like half and half on those.
Here is what independents say is the biggest problem.
Okay. I doubt, I'm curious. I don't know where the poll came from. Let's see if the independents think are just Republicans light or these are real independents. If they think Taliban is the number one thing, the number one threat to the United States of America is one tribe of 12 in Afghanistan.
The Taliban. China. Then
I see. So China made it up to second. The independents think the Taliban is the number one threat too. Fucking hell.
Defund the police. That's what independents.
Well, how many were there? 4 choices in this thing?
and say? What do Democrats say? Now, by the way,
climate change, microaggressions, and running out of blue hair dye when you're on your way. Hold on. I think, let's see if we can do this. Let's see. There we go. I don't know. We're gonna have to ask. But if I had to really guess, what are the biggest threats? Oh God, I have not had my coffee yet. Biggest threats to America. I'm gonna go with systemic oppression in academics and in placement scores and hiring, also wage gap. That would be my number one. My number two would be corporations. Not all corporations, obviously. I just mean anything that closes before 9 on a workday or opens before noon on a Saturday. Also, and my number three, what's my number three? Wine coolers. That would be it. They mess me up. I'm not even kidding. I'm not having any more. I can't do it. Okay, tell me what they said, though.
Number one for the GOP is at 66%. Number two is 62, then 58. Independents, 46, 45, and then 30.
They're afraid of numbers? I thought they were afraid of this stuff.
For the top three.
Uh-huh.
Here's the Democrats.
Okay, give me it.
The Democrats.
Yeah.
The number one threat to America.
Right.
Donald Trump supporters.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, they kind of encapsulate everything. You know what I mean? Because they're loud and some of them have guns and they tried to overthrow our entire system of government, which the Taliban has never done. I don't want to. I mean, it's rude to point that out, and I'm not yucking their yum. I'm sure they would want to. But yeah, but Trump supporters definitely clinging to the idea that he's still president, and they're kind of dangerous. I'm worried about, obviously tomorrow's going to be cray.
The number two threat to America
is trying to have a morning poo without coffee. Let me tell you.
Is unvaccinated Americans.
Well, sure. Yeah, they would be the people killing the most people. If you were looking for what was adding extra deaths to the United States right now, that would be it, I guess. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad they brought that up. I wouldn't have been on my list. I wouldn't have even thought that. But it is technically what's killing more Americans right now. Like right now.
Then you drop 12 points to number three,
right?
Which is the Taliban.
Well, yeah. 12 points. Really? That's it? What's in between there? Were any of mine on the list?
Democrats at about 60% say that a Donald Trump supporter is more dangerous than the Taliban.
Well, the Taliban are all 6,000 miles away and aren't currently attacking any of our institutions of power or planning to do so. I know I'm nitpicking, but it's kind of true.
They are saying that someone who refuses to get the vaccine is more dangerous than China or the Taliban.
Well, yeah, because China and the Taliban aren't currently coughing on citizens and giving them a disease that's actually making them end up on a ventilator. I mean, obviously there are concerns on those two fronts, but this is about priorities, I suppose. I mean, that's the whole point of one of these lists is prioritizing, I would guess. I'm just guessing, but these are the people who are killing the most. And interestingly enough, they're killing more Republicans. I don't know if that matters to you. More Republicans are being killed by anti-vaxxers than Democrats by a long shot. Almost all of them, as a matter of fact. I mean, there's a random child which hasn't picked their political team, their side yet, and hopefully they never have to. Kumbaya. But anyways, I'm just saying overall that most. It's interesting how Democrats seem to care more about dying Republicans than Republicans do. Like, you seem very upset that we're upset that people in red states are being killed by their fellow Republicans. That's not weird to you? That's a lot of dead air. It is. It's a lot of dead air. It shouldn't take you that long. I know you're trying to sound intense or something, but
if you continue to dehumanize half of the population,
they're not dehumanizing. Even the Taliban's humans. If you're scared of the Taliban, so you're saying that the Taliban, when they say that's their number one fear, they're dehumanizing the Taliban and China and the defund the police activists. That the independents and Republicans are dehumanizing those people because they're number 1, 2, and 3 on their list. What?
And say because they believe they have a right to say, no, I'm not comfortable with this. And
no, you can be uncomfortable, but you can fuck off too. You don't have to spread the disease. Yeah, I mean, are you basically making the condoms don't allow me to feel anything baby argument? Is that what it is? Is that what we're talking about here? Honey, I know HIV is a real thing and it's very dangerous and we're all scared or whatever, but I can't feel anything, so I don't want to wear it. I don't know. It's for me or whatever. I know you're saying no, but whatever.
Let me just let you know. If you would have taken Donald Trump up on his offer, which he has offered several times, let me be a spokesperson. I'll talk to the right. Let me.
What do you mean take up his offer? What's stopping him? All right, I'm done with this look. I'm back to being me. It was a little much.
Do commercials for you that says, hey,
they don't have to. He can put them out himself. He's a fucking billionaire. The ad council would absolutely put out Trump ads going, I think you should take the vaccine. What would his ads be like? This is Donald Trump. Don't forget to go to donaldjtrump.com and sign up for me to siphon money out of your bank account every month. Oh, by the way, you should take the vaccine. I took it. It's a good vaccine. But also, if you don't want to take it, you got your freedoms. Dung, 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 dung. The moron you know.
Guys, you got to take it. I've taken it. It's not so bad. If you would have come to us and said, how do we talk to people?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's, you know what? It's that culturally, we're just insensitive to how you talk to Trumpers. If only we'd gone to Glenn Beck to help construct the ads for people to get vaccinated, and he could have laid out one of his massively cunning analogies. You know, folks, I'm Glenn Beck, and I took the vaccine, and you should too, because taking the vaccine is it's like getting a needle in your arm that hurts for a couple of days, but will keep you from dying. It's like that. You know what I mean? You get what I'm swinging.
You might have been able to get some of these things done. For instance, you got to go to companies and force them. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Not going to do it. Yeah, and they're not forcing them. You can get tested too. There's no vaccine mandate. Federal employees, you sign up for that job. But private companies with over 100 employees, you can get vaccinated or you can get tested weekly. Weekly.
However, if the government wants to pay for the simple test that you take once a week, it's non-invasive, it's no big deal, and they want to make those available for companies, and they come and say, hey, would you do this? And they hadn't have been so damn creepy and weird on everything from the beginning. And
from the beginning? Sorry, who was it that put together Operation Fart Steve?
Captain's log.
Down any kind of information that disagrees with their political narrative. Here's what I want you to know.
Yeah, because we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You lost us completely. Also, you have weird Vienna sausage fingers, and they're creeping me out. I've never noticed this before, but your hands are frightening. They might be Pixar.
They don't care about people living or dying. They don't care.
Well, then why would they give a shit about the vaccine? Why don't they just go, if you don't want to get it, it's free. If you want to get it, you get it. If somebody dies, fuck them. And also, they shouldn't, let's turn away COVID patients if they haven't been vaccinated. If they didn't care, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't have to do any of this shit. They wouldn't even lose their temper. Because look who's dying. It's all Trump voters.
Because we see it in Afghanistan. They don't care.
I will try, Bill. I will try to be responsible.
They don't care about people who are going to get COVID. They don't care, or they would make every option available, and they would have followed their own research that was done a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago? Yeah, we knew so much about COVID then. What research a year and a half ago?
How do we convince people? In the government's own research, it says don't do these things, and that's what the Biden administration has focused.
They didn't do them for a year and a half, and you fuckos aren't getting vaccinated. These should be things of last resort. They didn't do any of those things for a year, and lots of people died. And as soon as the vaccines started coming, the only people that are dying now are Republicans and those people who are Republican adjacent. And you don't give a rat's ass. And this is this guy going, they don't care about who's dying. We care more about these people who are dying than you do. And none of these people voted for Joe Biden. None of these people are Democrats. All of these people in North Dakota and South Dakota and Texas and Florida who are dying from this, all of them Trumpers. Or were unfortunate to be downwind from the idiocy and the virus.
They are intentionally irritating, intentionally poking. They want you to strike out.
What? No, we don't. We want you to get the fucking vaccine and participate in society. They want this is all a big plan. So we elected Donald Trump because we wanted him in office, so he would let this go and he would tear up the plan and fire the team for the pandemic response team, tear up their plan, to let a pandemic roll over the country, let it kill 600,000 Americans. Also, we could prod right-wingers into losing their shit and attacking their fellow citizens. This is the plan. Honest to God, this is what happens when you engage in too much conspiratorial thinking, or if you're a paranoid lunatic. Eventually, you just get yourself into a cul-de-sac of paranoid idiocy, and you can't get out.
God help us if anybody does.
The fuck are you talking about? God help us if anybody does. No, you lost the election. Nobody had to poke you. Trump lost the election, and you fuckers attacked the goddamn Capitol. And this asshole is just trying to foment the next insurrection. He's just trying to get people killed. He's trying to... nobody's giving a shit about his show or any of this anymore. They're also recognizing the fact that he was wrong about everything. He's been talking out of his ass for years. He was wrong about Trump. He was wrong about the election. He's wrong all along. And now his viewers are pissed at him. So the way you fix that when you've been wrong this whole time... By the way, a problem I don't have, Glenn... is that you just get more emotionally intense about this. You just get this is reached a whole new level. It's, this is now they're internalizing genocide to drive us all. They're trying to make us attack them, and they better not, or we will. What?
They want you to do it because they are preparing to eliminate the problem.
Yeah, that's what's happening, Glenn. Yeah, we're waiting. Yeah, it's Democrats that are waiting with guns and FEMA camps to round up right-wingers who are so violently against getting a vaccine that their own leader got and brags about creating. We're going to round them up and either kill them or put them in, it's Agenda 21 or Jade Helm all over again. This is fucking pitiful. He sounds like a TV host in V for Vendetta. Well, he wants to. The biggest secret of this is that Glenn Beck will, in his next segment after this, laugh with his co-host as if he didn't just say what he said. This is an asshole literally calling out people like, if they dare touch you, it's time to rise up. It's, and he means kill people. It means kill cops and soldiers and EMTs ambush your fellow citizens and shoot up clinics and shit like that. That's the end game. That's what he's talking about. And that somehow the Democrats are making you do this because they're asking you to do the same thing they asked everyone else to do who didn't react that way. But now that they're asking you, it's an act of violence. And then this is the same asshole who says that, when the left uses words like silence is violence and stuff, that's an excuse for them to use what you say as a reason to attack you physically. And then that's what he's calling for, which is, we're just seeing it laid bare. This is the projection of Glenn Beck and his ilk. I dare not even call them right wing at this point, because this is straight up like proto-Nazi authoritarian psychopathy.
If you believe that genocide we need to tolerate because we have bigger issues, if you believe I, as a doctor, can say, oh, you don't agree with what I say is true, I'm not going to give you any treatment.
Well, no, they're rationing treatment because of the lack of availability of the monoclonal antibody treatment. It's not a never-ending supply, and you'd want to give it to people who got sick accidentally, one would think. And also in terms of China, you're not going to handle that genocidal problem by overt action. We're not going to declare a hot war with China, or Trump would have done it, because it's the last 4 years it's been going on. It's not like it was invented this year. And we have a new president in the country who's doing material moves in the South China Sea. We showed those earlier, just so's you know. This little gathering. This is how you start pushing back against what China is doing with the Uyghurs. The other thing you do is, in getting out of Afghanistan, now the attention of the Taliban and ISIS and all these other groups turns toward China, because they have a teeny, teeny, tiny little border with China that leads directly to the portion of the country where the Uyghurs are. So that shouldn't turn into anything else. But please, Glenn, tell us your fantasy about how people don't care about people and Americans are evil, stupid people because they have been telling you to get a vaccine and you won't do it. And so they're denying treatment because there is no there.
Mark my words.
No. Besides doing his best attempt to, Jimmy Dore and Gavin Long gin up some asshole to assassinate some cops. Everything that Glenn Beck is saying in this clip is fart air. It's just garbage. No, Glenn. No. And just a tip for next time, if I may. May I? Can I, guys? Do you mind? I know I went long tonight, but I'll finish after this one. Glenn, the next time you've decided today's the day you're going to make your move. Today's the day you're going to show everybody that you're a tin pot dictator and you're about to lead your own cult in an uprising, and you're the new KFC version of Trump, and you're going to take MAGA and gather them together and fight back against the authoritarian, murderous regime of Nancy Pelosi and the left-wing communist sympathizers. The next time you do that and you announce it into your Mr. Frosty microphone in front of your weird Saddam Hussein graphic with your name on it, don't wear your cowboy PJs. I'm just saying. There's a reason why you did. Let's see. Glenn Beck. Let's see. Images. Like, I'll show you. Here's Glenn. Maybe wear this outfit. Do you still have it? I know it doesn't still fit, but perhaps this kind of authoritarian, Hitlerian outfit. I mean, what you're saying makes way more sense coming out of this guy than Naptime Glenn. We all have our Glenn Beck action figures, right? We have our neo-Nazi Glenn and our please give me your money so that I can only evacuate Christians Glenn. We have our client, our weepy woo woo Glenn Beck doll. We have fake Professor Glenn. We have KFC Glenn. But then, of course, we have Naptime Glenn with Squeezy Wee Wee.
If we don't stop this path now and start standing up together in love, in peace, in harmony.
Yeah, love and peace and harmony. You just told everybody that they're going to poke you, and they better beware. You better not poke me again, or I'm going to come at you with love and peace and harmony in my PJs. In my PJs. Hold on one second. Someone asked for this earlier, so I want to see if I can do this at least once before we go. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. 1 second. Where are you? Hold on. I got it in here. Hold on 1 second. I'm looking for something. Where is he? Where is the little guy? Oh, I don't have it. Hold on 1 second. I'm looking for something. Give me 1 second. Oh, sorry. That's not it. Where is it? Let's see. Where'd he go? I know it's got to be in here. Oh, nope, that's not it. Here we go. It's time for bedtime with Glenn. It's time to have a nightmare. It's time to lay on your pillow and have a good scare. Oh yes, it's bedtime with Glenn. He'll fill your dreamy times with hate and fear and scary stuff, knowing that the world is going up in a puff of smoke. Oh no, Glenn's scary man. Glenn's scary man. Oh no, no, oh no, it's nap time with Glenn. Glenn has lost his mind, he's in his PJs again. Oh Glenn, why are you such a big old jerk? Why don't you get a real job instead of calling this work? You work in your PJs. 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 Oh buddy. Oh PJs. Oh PJs. We're going to have some PJs. Oh, PJs. Oh, PJs. Seriously, dude. Those are some sweet-ass PJs. I'm just saying. I don't really... They're probably big for me. Do you know... Where do you shop? Because cowboy PJs they're kind of retro. I like them. It's good. It looks like the old cowboy shows my grandfather used to wear. Which is funny, because you looked a little bit like my grandfather. If he was, if he'd washed up on a beach after committing some sort of heinous crime and was going to jail. You'd kind of, you know what I mean? You have that whole kind of... Anyways. It's time for bedtime with Glenn, and we'll have it again. Oh, it's a nightmare, a nightmare, a nightmare factory. Sorry. Just kidding. For fuck's sake. How'd you look like that as a 3-year-old? I kind of did, yeah. I was this buff. By the way, it gets a little intense when Glenn is talking. And I want to remind you, do not take anything that this fuckhead says seriously. Nothing. Nothing. Do not get upset when he talks. Do not allow him to steal any of your positive emotions with his blather. This is his one go-to thing that always works in his head, that he can look so enraged and it's terrible. It's just nonsense. It's silly. Please don't get caught up in it ever. Always view it for the accidental comedy it is. It's perverse, it's grotesque, it's a flailing attempt at violence, but he's useless. He's an extra. Glenn Beck is on his path to being the next Reverend Gene Scott in his mind, and he's basically just passing time screaming into a microphone until that happens.